my crafty friends, and welcome back to my channel for another process video. Today I'm going to be working in a pocket page spread, and this is going to be document my daughter's third birthday. So what I'm showing you here is how I've already used the front side of those cards for some of the cards on another pocket page spread that I've already created the video for it. I'll link it up here on the top right hand side for you guys if you want to check it out. But I am going to use now the back side of some of those cards, not all of them, because not all of them are going to work. Now, I don't need to do this because I'm definitely not in any short supply of any products because I've been scrapbooking for 20 years. However, I am in short supply of certain colors because not a lot of colors are super popular in collections, and one of them is yellow. I think yellow, though, is starting to make its way a lot in collections, which I'm so happy about. I wish that they would do that with all the colors, but I'm so happy about that. So because I have the backside the yellow, I want to make sure that I'm going to use that. Now the other two cards, the second one, 3x4 card, and the fourth one that has a photo on it, those are by Studio Calico, but the rest of the products I'm going to use today are going to be from Coco Vanilla Make-A-Wish line, which is an older collection. So once I get down my pictures, I am then going to look for some little embellishments that I can put on the uh, layout. And so what I'm doing is I'm just looking for some phrase stickers that work. So I see this one that says hip hip hooray. And yes, I know that card that I just showed you says hip hip hooray. I didn't even think about it, just happens, but that's okay. I don't worry about little things like that. If it repeats a phrase, it's not a big deal to me. But I did fussy cut that one 3x4 card wreath so that way I could use it as part of the title. Now you all know me. If I have a little scrap piece of paper, if I can make some type of, like, get some use out of it, I will do it. And so I went through my box of punches and I was looking for a heart one, so I grabbed the heart one. And while I was going through that, I came across three little baggies of some stuff in it, some embellishments from certain collections. And I found this one that was all vellum by Crate Paper called All Oh Darling, and it's very close to the Echo Park Sweet Girl. And so right away I was like, ooh, let me see if I can use those. And while I was going through them, I grabbed a couple of things that I thought might work for the title card. I thought maybe this frame, and then I found the scallop. And once I found the scallop, I was like, you know what, that's going to be the one I'm going to use. Now I also came across this one little vellum piece that says April, so I want to include that because her birthday is in April. So I'm going to include that somewhere on this spread. Now, one thing I want to discuss that I tried to represent in this layout is anything with 3 on it because she's turning 3. So the cake had 3 tiers. So as soon as I saw that, I knew I had to use that card, that 3x4 card. Plus it has the 3 candles. And then there's going to be more representation throughout the spread as well with the representing the number 3. Now, I am not a big embellish scrapper. Oh, I wish I was. I wish I could layer up a bunch of stuff, but I'm not. But I was watching my friend Sarah Scraps here on YouTube, and she was talking about how she's just trying to use up her embellishments because once her paper's gone, she has leftover embellishments. And I'm like, that is so true. So let me use any possible embellishments that I can to use on this pocket page spread. So that's why I'm trying to focus on just the Make-A-Wish. So I came across this cut apart or sheet that you could cut, a fussy cut, and I grabbed a that fabulous ticket and I made my own little ticket out of it. Well, not my own ticket, but I cut out the ticket, and then in order to complete the to finish up the look, I just took my hole punch to hole punch the ends. And then I'm going to add one of those little punches that I made with the heart punch that I have. Now I start to staple that down, and I can't remember if I've already done it, so if I've done it yet. I can't tell because I'm looking at a little tiny screen, but I'm going to add a phrase that says all smiles, and then I'm going to add another heart on there so that way I have my visual triangle. Now I'm going to grab my tiny attach-er. Aha, this is where I do it. Now see, I staple it. What did I just do or talk about at the very beginning? I used the back side of a previous card that I've already used. Didn't even realize it. I'm just using my stapler away because I'm like, that is one tool that I want to definitely use more of because I love the look of staples. It just added a different texture. And when I go and, I'm working on something, I realize, oh no, actually, this is where I realize it. I go and I put my washi tape on anytime I staple on any card just to protect, to have that second layer of product or cover over the staples to protect the back side of the card. That's when I realized I just stapled through a photo. I was able to take care of the staples really well, and this, unless you're looking for those little holes, you really can't see it because I don't have another print of it, and I wasn't going to waste a you know printing is expensive, especially from home. But so I was just like fine with it. And what I did was I lifted up the picture and that's when I stapled it. All right, so now I'm going to be working on the card. And I showed you what the title was going to be, and I also said it earlier, which is going to be Hip Hip Hooray, Isabella Turns 3 Today. So I'm going to go ahead and use this vellum die cut. And what I'm doing is I'm using the lines in the grid to help me, guide me to have a straight line. Then I'm going to have that Hip Hip Hooray off to the side because I am going to cut off some of it. And I don't mind doing that. I actually love the look of when things kind of run off the page and you kind of cut it. Definitely don't want to cut certain spots, but this one I'm okay with where I cut it because you can definitely read it. All right, so there's my Hip Hip Hooray, Isabella Turns 3 Today. And I realize, ooh, I'm going to have to cut this apart just so that way I could place it where I want those numbers. And I'm not going to make you watch me glue everything down, but I will glue everything down off camera. And then after I get done gluing down the title for the title card, I then go back to the collection because I'm like, what else can I add? I definitely want to add a little something to at least every card if I can. And so I found this one that says yay, and I wasn't sure, do I put it at the top or do I have it at the bottom? And I end up choosing it right, not at the bottom, but I end up choosing to place it there where I just glued it down. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up the line, if you were to look at it, the visual line that you see on that pennant, and I'm going to make it line up against the line on the card, separating the white space onto the XOXO. All right, now I'm going to audition a couple of things through the ephemera pack again. Like I said, just trying out different things. I want to have this card very plain because I like to have a lot of spots to have where your eye can rest when you're looking over a Project Life spread. And so I thought about using this circle that said celebrate, almost used it. And then I come across this bow and I thought that bow was cute. But then I go back to the cut apart page, and that's where I find the 3 candles, and again just representing the number 3. I fussy cut that off camera, and then I also took the quote that was right below it that says make a wish. I'm going to include that as well. I thought about adding some foam adhesive to the candles, but even though that is not a real thick foam, I realize it's a little too high, two-dimensional for what I want for this spread. So I ended up putting it back, and now I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. I believe, looking at everything, that that is going to be all that I do for this layout, which was perfect for me. I am going to do off camera my journaling, and that is it, everyone. That is my final layout. So I do hope that you enjoyed this layout. If you did, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, I do hope you consider subscribing, and you all have an amazing day. Bye.